The Memphis Grizzlies have made a very interesting move as one Grizzlies youngster is getting a two-way contract. What does this mean for the back end of the roster? And historically speaking, is this the start of something more for Javon Small? We'll get to that in just a moment, but what's going on, everybody? Jared Alatorre, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Grizzlies Digest. And before we get into the video, just want to tell you that 13%, thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for engaging with us. Got to know a great deal of you. But 87% that are not subscribed, we're trying to get those two bubbles balanced out with each other. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It takes less than a second. It's free. So getting into the content now. We talked about it a little bit yesterday when I was talking about Marvin Bagley signing with the Washington Wizards. But this is the Grizzlies signing Javon Small to a two-way contract. So the Memphis Grizzlies announced, this was Thursday when they announced it, the signing of Javon Small. He's 6'1", started 32 games last season in West Virginia. Incredible numbers, 18.6 points a game, 5.6 assists, 4.1 rebounds, 1.5 steals, named to the 25 All Big 12 first team after ranking second in the conference in scoring and third in assists. So Javon Small, we'll take a look at him in just a moment, but this is a two-way contract for him. Going to be playing for the Memphis Hustle, but we've seen historically how Grizzlies players have fared in the two-way contract system. And that has to do with guys like Vince Williams, Gigi Jackson, Scotty Pippen Jr., Jay Huff. Now this was ripping a piece from Paris Sharkey's, one of his articles on the Grizzlies fan-sided page. The two-way contract, he says it's something that the Grizzlies take seriously, as Cam Spencer marked the fifth player to earn a roster spot on the main team since January of 2024. Vince Williams Jr., Gigi Jackson, Scotty Pippen Jr., Jay Huff, all promoted to the Grizzlies' main roster from a two-way contract last calendar year. So the Grizzlies have been cooking with two-way guys of their own, and they've been making great use of these guys. And Zach Kleiman, give him credit. I mean, he's getting guys that he knows can be implemented easily into the full-time roster. And Cam Spencer is just a major component of that. We saw Scotty Pippen Jr. rise to his peak level last season, and who knows what else he's going to do for this year, but he's definitely a long-term piece. And of course, Gigi Jackson's very young. They love talking about Gigi Jackson around Memphis, and he's going to be a main piece that I think is just going to grow more and more, and he's going to be a part of the Memphis family, I think, for a long time. That is, and Zach Kleiman, I bet he knows that the city has accepted the project that it's going to take for Gigi to rise above his actual potential. And I think for Javon Small, and we take a look at him for just a moment here. So led the Big 12 in scoring, 19 points a game, like we said, 5.6 assists as he drives inside there. He's just a tough kid. I mean, plays a lot bigger than what he actually is. Only 6'1", but he just plays like he doesn't care. And he is a big-time energy guy, and I could definitely see him as like the third point guard, obviously behind Ja Morant, Scotty Pippen Jr. Then you have Javon Small in there. Now, God forbid we don't have any injuries this year, but with Memphis' luck, you just never know anymore. But for Javon Small, he looks like a very valuable piece to help whenever his number is called. And I think that he could be an extremely valuable piece for years to come. And this is a little bit about his career stats. 3 schools, played at East Carolina, Oklahoma State, West Virginia. Really made a huge sophomore jump over in East Carolina. And, coaches around college basketball, I mean, they see that. They see, hey, they see this non-Power 4 school. They see this guy from, this non-Power 4 school, and they go, wow, we could really use someone like that. So he made the jump to the Big 12, and he was even better. And I think and we didn't really see it in those highlights, but he can hit threes. But one thing that really gets me, and it's why I showed you the highlights, is just his way of driving the basketball, his confidence driving the basketball. That's what I think is very grit and grind, Memphis hustle-like culture that he can really strive in. And like I said, I think he's going to be a really amazing piece, at least for the G League. But whenever he's called up, it won't be surprising. I will say this. I will not be surprised if, even without an injury, that Zach Kleiman and Tuomas Iisalo want to call up Javon Small to the Memphis Grizzlies. I will not be surprised by that. Because we've seen his toughness, we've seen his energy, we've seen his grit, determination, speaks perfectly to his game, speaks perfectly to Memphis, and I think this is a well-deserved contract. And we all saw his grandfather on draft night. Just an amazing reaction. You know, sometimes we think, oh, okay, he's this late pick guy. He's a second-round pick guy. I mean, it doesn't matter, you know. You want the emotion to last something like that, because we all forget the hard work that goes into this sport to get to the NBA. It's not just the players, it's it's the parents going to all those AAU games a few years back, and all the travel. I mean, this is for everybody, man. This is for family, it's for grandparents, aunts, uncles, sibling. This is for everybody. So glad to see that Javon Small is getting what he deserves. And then last slide here. Yeah, I think these two guys are really going to transition perfectly into Memphis' system. You got Javon Small, who we've been talking about this whole video. He's the main focus of this video, who resembles the grit and grind culture. And then you've got Cedric Howard, who Memphis fans, they loved him even much before we picked him in the draft. And I think he could be a Desmond Bane in the making. I don't want to put that expectation on him just right now. Again, they're rookies, freshmen, whatever you want to call them. They're going to make mistakes. It's all about growing pains. And, for the Grizzlies, all these young guys, they're building really well. Whether it's Gigi Jackson, whether it's Scotty Pippen, whether it's going to be Javon Small and Cedric Howard, they really know how to build their young guys. And for Jalen Wells and Zach Edey, that resembles them perfectly. I mean, two young guys making the all-rookie first team, amazing stuff. And that's what I think that, I don't know if that's the ceiling exactly for Cedric Howard, but let's see what he does. And I don't think it would take him long before he actually gets into the starting lineup. For a timetable, I mean, it depends on what you mean by long, but I mean, I'd say by next season, I wouldn't be surprised if Cedric Howard is inserted into that starting lineup as the 2 spot. You still want Jalen Wells at the 3, and then JJJ, Zach Edey covering the 4 and the 5. But again, these young guys, Memphis does a really good job with their young guys. And I think these two are going to further prove that. But that's going to do it for this video. Jared Outdoors saying thank you so much for watching this episode of Grizzlies Digest. You can like this video, comment on this video, share this video, leave a comment down below your reaction to Javon Small, thoughts on Javon Small. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.